My go-to supplements and remedies on Mounjaro. I was influenced to buy the lot. I was influenced to buy every supplement, every remedy under the sun. I got them all. I got them in my cupboard. I'll line them up if we want. And I haven't needed half of them. So I'm going to give us a little rundown and a very realistic view of what I personally have on a day-to-day basis, and the other bits that I have maybe every other day as well, along with some remedies that have really helped me along the way in the last 5 months on my GLP-1 Mounjaro journey. So let's have a little look, shall we? Hello everyone, for anyone that doesn't know me, my name's Lauren, and I have been on a GLP-1 medication, Mounjaro, now for 5 months. I have lost 35 pounds in that 5 months, and previous to the 5 months, how many times can I say 5 months? I lost 56 pounds using diet, exercise, famine. That's a joke, is it? Which brings me to a total of a 90 pound weight loss this year, which I'm over the moon about. And I do have some other videos which will just talk you through why I decided to go on Mounjaro, because a lot of people often say, why on earth did you do that when you already were losing so much by yourself? So I've got a whole other video that goes all into that. So go have a look. But let's get back on track and talk about some of the some of the remedies and supplements that I have. Now, like I say, when I first started the old MEJ back on the 8th of March this year, 2025, in case we're, watching this years in the future. Please, let the weight stay off, please. One thing I was really worried about was the supplements, the vitamins, because I was someone that never really took supplements and vitamins. I used to just go with the flow, which wasn't always a good thing, because when I did start to take some bits and bobs, I started to realise, and actually realised what feeling really good felt like. So being bombarded with, you've got to take this, you've got to take that, otherwise you're going to feel this, you're going to get every side effect under the sun, for me was just, I felt like I had to get it right, because I was very nervous about the side effects. I'm here to tell you we don't need all of it. And actually, here comes my first big old secret just for you. Now, I shouldn't really reveal a secret this early on in the old video, but I like you. Let it be known. But something I wish somebody had told me was, you don't actually need any supplements or vitamins if you don't want to. Now, I will just start hands in the air by saying, I'm not a medical professional. Not a medical professional. No degrees. I do have a media production degree, actually. It was worth every penny. I'm not a medical professional, and it's really important when thinking about any supplements, anything additional that you're going to add to your daily routine or weekly routine, whatever it may be, do double check with your doctor, just in case there's any other medications that you might be on personally which could affect any other supplements that you may well have. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I do know that taking certain supplements with other medication can be an issue sometimes. So always get it checked. It's always worth doing it. And again, I'm only telling you from my experience. This is just what I do personally for me and what works well. But it's important to know that supplements, they're not there to help your weight loss. It's not going to be like, oh, I've had a multivitamin. George, I'm a size 10. I'm a size 10. I took me multivit. Yeah. That's not what it's there for. Any supplements and vitamins we're just taking to support our overall well-being and maintain our overall health. But what do I take? I hear you cry. Well, this is what I have. So I start off the day by having a multivitamin. Now, it doesn't have to be a fancy pants multivitamin. It could be any old multivitamin that you like. But I do take a multivitamin. And again, never did that before. One thing I never didn't bother with me multivits. And I should have. And what is a multivitamin? For those of us at the back that didn't know. It's a combination of vitamins and minerals to help fulfill your daily nutritional needs. Not my words, the words of Google AI overview. So it's got to be right. But yes, I take my multivitamin, and I find that on the days I don't take it, I do feel a little bit more magoo. It has really given me some kind of a boost. That's the first thing I take, me multivit. Like I say, you can get it from Tesco, Asda, Aldi, anywhere. I also started off by using the WellGuard multivitamin. Let me go get it. Oh, up she goes. So these are the ones that I started off with, the My Journey WellGuard ones. Now, these are designed for people specifically on a Mounjaro journey. That's what they're advertised as. And they did work really well. I did like it when I had them. However, I have switched to a normal multivitamin and I haven't seen that much of a difference at all. So it's up to you what you get. If you get any at all. Again, I'll caveat that. You don't need any of it. The second thing I have on a daily basis, I'm Donald Ducking it at the moment, so I've only actually got a top half on and the bottoms of pants. Of course, just what I get on camera. People have to pay for that stuff. That's a joke. Is it? But the second thing that I have every day after my little multivit is I have collagen in my tea. What's collagen for? Well, I'll tell you, it helps with things like your skin elasticity, your hair, your nails, your joints, your gut health. It's got a bit of protein in there as well. We all love that. It's something that I was actually having before I started my Mounjaro journey anyway, because a dicky bird told me, my sister-in-law, she loves it, she know it all, but she looks fabulous. That actually collagen, especially in us women, I'm not sure if it's the same for men, but definitely depletes after the age of around 35 to 40. So starting to get that collagen in different ways is always good, because again, we want that skin elasticity. Boing, boing. We want to have good silky hair, it's like a horse's tail, and have good bone health, good nail health, good joint health. It's so important for us as we age. We want to be fit, we want to be mobile, we want to be able to do the worm. Got some weddings coming up. I want to be able to rock the moves. I won't say that again. But collagen, brilliant to have. Now, I have one by a company called Will Powders, and again, this isn't me selling, I don't get any commissions, I'm just telling you honestly and truthfully what I have. So this is one by a company called Will Powders, as I've said, and the lady that owns Will Powders, I don't know what you'd say, is called Davinia Taylor. I love her, she's a goddess. Look her up if you don't already. Really good information, and that really helped me actually watching her lose my first 56 pounds when I was kind of riding solo, because the way she talks about the certain fats that we really clicked in my mind and really helped me navigate things like food cravings and sugar cravings. So she talks a lot about how healthy fats really helps those sugar cravings. Sorry if I sound like I'm repeating myself a bit, there I am. But how starting the day off with certain foods, certain fats, getting those into the diet actually really benefit us in the end. So I used to avoid oil at all costs, but actually she goes into the detail about vegetable oil is the one that we should avoid, but actually something like extra virgin olive oil is brilliant. I actually have real butter now, I have nuts, I have avocado, I get those healthy fats in and I do feel better for it. And like I say, it really did help me on that journey before Mounjaro, where I managed to lose that 4 stone by implementing those habits, and those habits have stayed with me now, and that has been vital. Yes, so this is a Swiss bovine collagen, so this is from cows I believe, but you can get other ones, so have a little look round and do what suits you. And again, remember, I'm going to say it after each one, you don't need to worry about everything if you don't want to. But for me, thinking about my skin elasticity, hair and nails, bone joint, wellness was vital for me. So it's just something that I have in my arsenal. I've actually got it right now, look. My little cup of tea, can you see it? In my red kite mugs. I do enjoy red kites. I'm based in Hertfordshire and we have a lot of red kites around. And I used to be like, wow, I still am in awe of them. I love them. Once one got a little too close, I changed my tune then and started fleeing the scene. Thought it must have been all my weight loss. Must have confused me with some kind of slender rat or skinny bunny. Pinky out. So the third thing that I have on a daily basis is I have magnesium in the Easian. I'm so glad that was caught on camera. Did I just say magnesium in the Easium? Magnesium in the evening. I have magnesium in the evening. Again, this is something I used to do before, because my job, I do floristry occasionally, I do installs, things like that. A lot of the time I'm manual. I might be lifting things, carrying things, and I found my bones and my joints. This was before I lost any weight at all. When I was at my biggest, which was 19.5 stone, I was kind of having to carry things, lift things. I was really achy in my body, so I started by taking magnesium, and that helped anyway. But it's something I've continued to do because, again, brilliant for our muscle health, great for sleep as well. So I always take it just before bed, about an hour before bed, take my magnesium and find I have a good night's sleep. And mama needs her beauty sleep. She doesn't look like this all the time. So those are my 3 daily things: multivitamin, collagen and magnesium. So let's move on to the little extras that I might have. So these are the things that I'll probably have maybe every other day or maybe even once a week, but I like to try and get them in where I can. So I do also have, I get a kombucha. Anyway, I get kombucha. You'll see it's also by the company Will Powders. I just love them. Cutting edge, authentically fermented kombucha made from hand-picked Elysian mountain tea leaves with psychobiotic edge and transformed into powder for ultimate convenience. Anyway, these come in little sachets, the one that I've got. Don't resist me. Sorry if you can hear any roadworks going on. It's not roadworks, it's a thing outside. Why? Oh, it's sealed. This is my new set I just bought. I had my last one this morning. La da da. Pop goes a weasel. So my ones come in little sachets. I think any kombuchas often come in sachets as well. There's so many out there. Just have a little look at a good kombucha for you, because these are brilliant for things like your gut health. I always have this first thing in the morning, if I do have it, but I don't have them every single day, just because actually more from a monetary point of view. These ones, because they're the Will Powders ones, they're not cheapest at all. You probably can get a lot of cheaper ones. However, I just find that these are really, really good for me. I feel cleansed in my body. It feels good for my gut. This morning I woke up and felt quite bloated and uncomfy, and I had this straight away this morning. Felt much better already. Feel lighter, feel full of energy. I have these maybe once every other day or every third day, but I do make sure I get kombucha in. It tastes a little bit vinegary, I guess I'd say, a little bit like vinegar, but you can get kind of different flavours. So this one's a light one, sweet, floral and clean, and I would agree, but it's perhaps not one that I would necessarily say is you sit there and have it as an enjoyable drink. You can. When I looked at Davinia Taylor's Bits and Bobs, it's not rude, she even had it in like a wine glass with some ice cubes and had it as a little drink outside. You do get used to it, but for me, I like to have it first thing in the morning just so I know it's doing something for the old gut. That's one of my go-tos. Another thing I have, now, I don't like to get carried away in having gummies because they are actually full of a lot of glucose, but I have been taking ashwagandha gummies. Now, this is very good for the mental cognition, and I need all the mental cognition I can get. Now, I do have ADHD. Don't know if you spotted that, but I find that sometimes having these ashwagandha gummies just does give me a little bit more clarity in the day, and that's me personally, not saying that it's going to help everyone else at all. That just helps me a little bit. I do want to switch from having them in gummy version to maybe a tablet version or however else it comes, because I do notice that these gummies are very, very high in the glucose, and a lot of the times I like to take these first thing in the morning, and I don't want my glucose to be spiked up high. Again, look at Davinia Taylor. She will tell you why you don't want your glucose spiked high. Also, the Glucose Goddess is very good for this. Look at them all. Basically, once our glucose level spikes in the morning, we're always chasing that high for the sugar, which is why we then become quite addicted to sugar, because we always want that spike. So anyway, ashwagandha gummies, that's something I currently take, and biotin. Now, I take this in the form of a gummy as well, and again, I want to swap both of those to actually taking those in a tablet form, because of the whole sugar thing. I don't need unnecessary sugar in the body, people, no matter how good they taste. Biotin is another one that really does help with the hair, nails, skin. And I find that being on this kind of weight loss journey with the collagen, with the biotin, having any help that I can with that skin elasticity and with the hair, because obviously Mounjaro doesn't cause hair loss. What causes hair loss is rapid weight loss. And I've done this so gradual. I've been on 2.5 milligrams for 5 months now, and I will go up to 5 milligrams this next week. I've been on it such a long time that I haven't had that rapid weight loss, so I found that my hair hasn't had that problem anyway. But by taking the collagen and the biotin, I've found massive improvements in my overall hair health. That's been something I've really noticed, because pre-Mounjaro, pre-weight loss, my hair would fall out anyway because I've got quite a lot of it, and I'd noticed when I was showering, I would kind of pull that conditioner through my hair and it would be full of hair, clumps of hair in the shower basin, much to my other half's love and amusement. Spell out words with the amount of hair that would come out. Love you, just in hair. I think he appreciated it. But I don't have that anymore. I still have elements of hair loss that comes out in the shower, but nothing like it was. So the only thing I can put it down to is the collagen and the biotin, because these are the biggest things that I've implemented in the old diet. So we've spoken a little bit about the daily supplements that I might have, along with some of the little extras I pop in the week. So let's have a little talk about some of the remedies that I will incorporate in. Now, some of these, I've called them remedies. They're not really a remedy. They're something you can have day to day, but I find that having them prevents me from feeling uncomfy, perhaps potential side effects, or when a side effect is happening, having some of these things has really, really helped. And my key one has been Peppermint Tea. Oh, she was a game changer. I love a bit of Peppermint Tea. If she was a person, she'd be calming. She'd have a slightly sassy edge. She'd be wearing a green velvet jumpsuit covered in diamonds. I love her. Anyway, Peppermint Tea. So if I'm starting to feel a little uncomfy, Peppermint tea, always. It just eases and relaxes that tummy right down. And also, I like to have a peppermint tea before I even get to that uncomfy stage. I find it just makes me feel a little bit cleaner inside, refreshed. Feel like it's doing something for the tummy. Not necessarily that it is, but it does feel like it is. Someone popped a little message in one of my previous videos and said they're going to go and have an afternoon tea. What do I suggest? And one of my things I did suggest was saying, have a peppermint tea with your afternoon tea. If you're gonna have these things, we want to enjoy them. You know, we didn't want to go on this journey so that we take away everything that we enjoy. Absolutely have the elements of things that we enjoy. So my suggestion was maybe have a peppermint tea with your afternoon tea. So if you want a couple of those sandwiches, you might decide, oh, I won't have the scone and cream because I have the little cake instead. You might decide you want a little bit of everything. But having that with a peppermint tea just eases everything a little bit more. So peppermint tea is something I'd say get in your shopping basket so that if you are feeling a bit uncomfy or you fancy something to just clean the system a little bit or make it feel a little bit more comfortable, you've got it in the cupboard rather than thinking, oh, I'm just gonna have to deal with feeling a bit uncomfy and I'll think about getting it next time. Get it now. The subject of calming teas, a chamomile tea. Chamomile tea, having a chamomile tea before bed, glorious. It's just so, chamomile tea, if it was a person, would be described as a hippie. Be like, everything is fine, man. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about chamomile tea then. Tastes lovely as well. I love the taste of chamomile tea. A lovely one to relax before the night, to make sure you can have a good night's sleep, because sleep is so important to weight loss as well, which is why I think having a good sleep routine has been really good as well. So that magnesium before bed, a little chamomile tea before bed, a little of lavender spray, why not? Treat yourself. Get that sleep that you need. Another thing is a little remedy that I have is electrolytes. Electrolytes. Now, I get one from a company called Mounjaro. Again, they're a little bit more expensive, but when it comes to things that I'm not having every day, I'd prefer to buy quality rather than quantity and think I've just got to get them all in the system. Electrolytes aren't designed to be had every day. You can get certain ones that are designed for everyday use, such as WellGuard have an everyday one. That's because they've got a lower amount of sodium in them. However, for me, if I'm taking electrolyte, it's because I am dehydrated or I'm feeling very tired, very headachy, which often is because I'm dehydrated and I want those salts replaced. So whether it's because feeling a bit ippy dippy and I might have had a bout of diarrhea, or I've just done a lot of exercise and I need those salts replenished, or I'm just generally feeling so dehydrated. You know those days where no matter how much water you get in your system, you just don't feel hydrated enough? That's when I'll be having an electrolyte. So I'll want my sodium levels to be increased to help that. So maybe think about having a little electrolyte in the cupboard just for those moments. Having an electrolyte, again, is very similar to literally having a little bit of salt in water. So if cost is an issue, just sprinkle some salt in water. You're just bringing your salt levels back up. Please do consult GPs and everything over this. I'm not a medical professional again, so you do any of this at your own risk, all right? And the last thing that's my biggest remedy, biggest boost for everything, and it's the simplest one, and you'll probably be like, oh, for goodness sake, Lauren, but it is my water. Oh, I need a sipple now, actually. So the time is around 11:30, I think, 11:30, and this is my 2 litre water bottle, so I've nearly had 2 litres of water already. Not saying that you have to neck your 2 litres like that, but for me, I find getting a lot of water down in the morning, I try to aim for about half a litre to a litre in the morning. This is, again, me personally, because my routine allows for it. That helps me go to the bathroom, if you know what I mean. It helps me get the whoosh going through, which is why I have it in one go where I can. And then I'll just keep topped up on that water. Now, I've got a little sore throat myself today, which is, again, whilst I'm having more water. But it's great for our digestion, that water as well. Great for weight loss in general. But so many people come to me and they say they have problems with constipation. And water, for me, is a thing that gets me moving. So never underestimate the power of water. You know, when you're reaching for the supplements or the remedies or the Collagen or the fibre gummies, I don't bother with fibre gummies anymore. I used to think they worked for me. I've actually had a turning point on them. I don't think they do. Never underestimate the power of water. So those are all the things that I do have quite often. Let me tell you some of the things that I don't have. However, I've got them in my remedy kit because the reviews are rave, and I know genuine people in my life that use them regularly and swear by them. So if you find that you often get uncomfy tummy, suffering with bloating a lot, this WellGuard Gut Star I've heard is very, very good. Again, it's only been opened because my other half had to use it. My other half's not even on a Mounjaro journey or a weight loss journey at all. He just had a very uncomfy tummy. So for people that have got uncomfy tummy, suffering with bloating a lot, these are good. It helps support digestion and the normal function of the intestinal tract. It's got fennel, ginger in it, this one. It's a live probiotic as well. So this is recommended to take in the evening with some cold water to, again, keep those live things alive. I think we understand why I'm not a medical professional. Just a caveat, I don't personally take these. I've not had the tummy issues like that. My other half takes them. He gets bloating quite a lot. He swears by these, and a lot of other people do. So if it's something you have a problem with, might be worth it. Another thing, if you really struggle with the constipation feeling quite regularly, again, the first thing I will always suggest is check your diet. Make sure you're getting the fibre in where you can. Look up high fibre foods and get that into your diet. We do focus on protein, and I will say this in a lot of videos. We do focus on protein, but protein alone will cause that constipation. So get that fibre in where you can as well. But if you're noticing that still isn't working, there's something called MAG-07. Now, I haven't got it here because I haven't bought it, but MAG-07, MAG-07, it has elements of magnesium in it as well, which I think helps with the constipation side of it. Don't know the ins and outs. Pardon the pun, but it's supposed to be called blimey good, and I literally just want to share the info with you if it's something that might help somebody out. Oh, I'm a patron of that. So that's pretty much everything in a little nutshell for you there. And I think it's important to try and contain it to a nutshell, and to remember you don't need everything. Have a little go with some things. If you're feeling, oh, actually I am feeling a bit sluggish, maybe I'll try the multivitamin. Also, something that I think is a good idea to do, pop to the doctors every now and again to get your blood tests done. See if you're deficient in something. Now, I'm deficient in the old vitamin D. Mama don't get enough sunlight. So I would take an additional vitamin D supplement to counteract that. But not everyone will need to do that. So maybe it's worth going to the doctors if you're feeling slightly lethargic, something's not right. Don't just settle with it and deal with it. Pop to the doctors to have some blood tests done and see if something's going on there. Might be you need more iron. It might be something really, really simple that you can get to balance that back out again. But don't sit there suffering in silence. Let me just complete this section by saying, please do check with your GP for everything as well. Anyway, this week, let me share with you, this week, I am trying something very new. You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is? I'm going to be trying kayaking. What's me kayaking? I'm really quite nervous about it because I felt empowered lately with doing new things, trying new things, because I feel like my weight isn't holding me back. But this one I'm still a bit nervous about. I was looking up videos how to get into a kayak for a plus size person, because I'm like, what if I don't bed like that? I practice actually on the edge of the couch, getting into the floor. I then practice getting in and out of the bath. So we'll see how it goes. But it's something I didn't do before because of the fear of falling in. I mean, that fear is still very much there. But if I can film some bits, I will film some bits, and I'll share it with you next week. So whatever you're doing this week, embrace it. Go outdoors for a walk. Go kayaking if you want to. I hope this video's helped a little bit, calm any nerves around thinking you need every supplement under the sun. You don't. And just to remember that everybody is different as well. So what one person might have, you might not need, and vice versa. Do what's right for you, listen to your own body, and take care of yourselves, all right? So I'll see you next week if I haven't fallen in. Good luck, munchers!